Hello everyone. Let's just start installation of Xampp server and we'll try to see what is the use of Xampp server and we'll try to install MySQL Workbench and try to see what are the use of MySQL Workbench. Here's the steps. First step, let's try to install this Xampp server from this URL. I'll provide this URL in description. Let's go to the browser, search for this URL, and we'll see on this page there are different versions available for Windows. I will try to install the latest version, and we'll click on this. It'll start downloading in few minutes. Meanwhile, let's try to copy this URL as well. This is the URL. Now we'll see the latest version available over here, and we'll click once this downloadations of this Xampp server will complete it. We'll click on this download also. Okay, now let's see why we need Xampp server and what exactly is the use of Xampp server. Xampp server is a free open source cross platform that is being developed by Apache. Consists mainly of Apache HTTP server, MariaDB, interpreter for a script written in the PHP Perl programming language. It is used for testing and to run web applications locally on your system, on your computer, before deploying them to the live server. It allows the developer to test and debug their code in the local environment. Okay, now this has been installed. Now try to install this MySQL Workbench as well. It will start downloading in few minutes. Once this Xampp server is being installed, this exe file will try to double click on this to install it. It will ask for permission. Click on yes to provide the permission. Now I'll start installing. We can start installing by saying continue with installation yes. Okay. Now setup, welcome, and we'll say next. We'll see all these settings once, and whatever the default setting is there, we'll continue with this. We'll click on this next. It will store its files in C drive, creating a Xampp folder. So let's just continue with this. Clicking on next. Preferred language English. Then next. Setup is now ready, being installed on your system. Next. It will take few minutes to install. Okay, so for installing this MySQL Workbench, you don't need to log in. You can click on this no thanks, just start my download. And it will start downloading. And in our download folders, we can see it's been downloaded. We can double click on this and we'll click on this next, next, next. Whatever the default setting is there, we'll continue with this only and we'll click on install. We'll ask for permission, click on yes. Now both of this setup is being under process. Now we'll see like this workbench has been completed. Click on this finish. Okay, so MySQL Workbench is ready, but before this we need Xampp server also. So let's just wait for this Xampp server to complete its installation. Meanwhile, we'll see like why we need MySQL Workbench. So MySQL Workbench is a visual database design tool developed by MySQL. It is used for designing, modeling, generating and managing databases. It basically provide a graphical user interface for working with MySQL Server and databases, allowing developers and database administrators to perform various tasks such as creating and modifying the tables, managing users, permissions, and running SQL queries on top of those tables. Uh, the major kind of development that we can do in MySQL Workbench is like SQL editors, creating SQL queries and firing those SQL queries on top of those tables, creating a data modeling, creating or managing servers, what we call as a server administration, and exporting those data and importing those data. We can say like data importing and exporting. So mainly this kind of task we can perform. Now let's see whether this installation has been completed or not. It's almost done. Okay, now it's done. Click on this finish. So as per our steps, we are done with step 1 and step 2. Now before going to step 3rd, we need to start our server from here. So we can see it provide multiple modules. As of now, I'll start MySQL and Apache only, because we will be needing these two in our subsequent sessions, where we will see how we can create database, how we can create tables, and how we can upload uh, um, data in those tables, and how we can fire different queries on top of those tables. Okay, now in our search we can click on CMD. We can search for CMD command prompt, and from this command prompt you will land to this particular path. This is the your user path. um, we can directly go to the root path as well, or we can copy this path, which will create a bin folder and will create a path for this one. I'll try to copy paste this one, try to execute. Okay, now it's been executed. I'll try to copy this command, and I'll paste this command. Before running this command, I just want to explain you this command. What does it says? Basically, it is a MySQL server command. Hyphen u indicates this hyphen u flag. It's a username. Specify the username, which particular username we are using to connect to our MySQL. Here we can see like root user we are using. Hyphen u indicates like which particular user, and root indicates like we are connecting through the root user. Hyphen p flag like tells the MySQL server to prompt for password. Hyphen h flag specify the host name or IP address of a server. And we are aware like 127.0.0.1 is IP address for MySQL client. Okay, now I try to execute this command. It will ask for password. By default there is no password, so we can enter. When we click on this enter, it will prompt this like it is started the MariaDB. Okay, now we'll go to MySQL Workbench, and we have to connect to this MySQL Workbench and try to test the connection. We need to click on this plus button over here. Yeah, this plus button we need to connect, and we need to provide a connection name. Which particular name we want to provide? We can say my server, or we can say my database server, my database server, and we'll try to test the connection. We click on this test connection, continues anyway, and it will say like successfully made the MySQL connection. Click on this OK. Our connection is been done, and it will prompt this MySQL. Whatever the name we have given, it will show this database server over here. We can double click on this, and it'll start this window. From this window we can write our queries, we can create databases, we can create tables inside those databases. All these things we can do. Okay, so we are done with the first, second, third, and fourth step. Now we'll try to create a database. This is the command to create a database. Create database and database name. Suppose I'm creating a database of name company. I'll write this query and I'll select the entire query, and I'll click on this button to execute this query. Okay, while clicking on this, it will execute this query and it will run. It will show the output of this. Here we can see uh, database has been created and one row affected. That means it is been created. Now to see like whether it is been created or not, we can always say show databases. So whatever the databases it have, some of the databases are already been created. These are by default databases. We will see all these databases which is default created by MySQL, and the one we have created just now, which is a company. Okay, so I'll try to execute this one. We can see the result, like company. This is the database that we have created, and these are the database that MySQL Workbench provide by default. Okay, now if you want to create a table, I cannot write directly to create a table. I need to use this particular database. So you for using this database, I need to uh, I need to say I want to use this database by saying the keyword use. So by this command, it will enter into this database, company database. Okay. Now I can create a table inside this, like create table, any table name, suppose employee I want to give, and we can create by this. I'll try to run this. Okay. So we'll see all these like how to create a table in further section, because we need to provide um, column name along with the data type as well. So in this we have seen like how to install MySQL server, how to install um, Xampp server, how to configure those, and how to start your workbench, and how to create a database. And if you want to drop the database, we can say drop database and database name. Suppose this is our database that you want to drop, and if we'll try to execute this one, it will drop our database, we can say. And now if we'll see how many databases is there, we'll try to execute this again, show database, run, and here we can see whatever the database we were seeing earlier, company name, it is not coming over here. That means it's been deleted. That's it.